So I have a lot of videos about getting an ex back and how to do that, does no contact work, things of that nature. What I've never talked about before on my channel is using the law of attraction, manifestation, to get an ex back. But that's what we're diving into today. What exactly is the law of attraction? What is manifestation? And how could you possibly use those things? Is that just spiritual mumbo jumbo, or does it actually work? And can you use it to get your ex to come back to you after you've been done? Hi, I'm Jeff Campbell from DivorcedParentsClub.com, and I'm glad you're here with me. So first, I want to just kind of briefly explain the law of attraction and the power of manifestation. If you think about it, everything in this world is energy. Everything in the entire universe is energy, and certain energies attract and certain energies repel. We know that. That's scientific fact. So if you think about it, then you can use that energy and how energies attract to bring things to you, whether that's money, whether that's love, or in this case, whether that's getting an ex back. But there are certain things that you have to do in order to harness the power of the law of attraction, and there are certain things that you want to avoid doing that will completely repel the law of attraction and completely prevent an ex from coming back to you by using the law of attraction. So we're going to go through several key steps that you can take right now today to start to implement the law of attraction to get your ex to come back to you. I do actually have an article on my website that goes much deeper into this. In fact, I go through 19 things that you can do in that article. I'm not going to go through all 19 of those today, but if you're curious and you want to dive in deeper, I am going to leave a link to that article down below in the description. But let's get started today, because the things that I'm going to go over with you absolutely will help to reframe things in your mind and begin to put you on the path for success in terms of getting your ex back. And you can use these skills to manifest anything in your life. It doesn't have to be just getting an ex back. It could be money, could be a new career, could be any number of things. And once you kind of learn the tools that I'm going to go through, you can apply those in every aspect of your life. That's the great thing. So one of the big things that they say in the law of attraction is that you have to kind of already be living the way that you want to live. In other words, if you want money, you need to live as if you already have a lot of money, and that action will actually attract money to you. So in this case, obviously, you can't be back together again with your ex, and you don't want to do stalkerish things, but you can begin to envision a life with them as if you're already living it in some degree. What do I mean by that? Well, think about what your ideal life with this person would be, and that may not be what it was before, because after all, something caused you to break up. So you want to kind of reframe that relationship, really dive in deep on what was it that didn't work, why didn't it work, and what was your contribution to it not working, so that you can eliminate those possibilities when they come back to you. You don't want to just go back to the way things were before, obviously. You want this relationship to be better than it ever was. So you've got to really become crystal clear in your mind as to what that looks like. What are the qualities that they bring to the table? What are the qualities that you bring to the table? How do you communicate with each other? How much quality time do you spend together? How do you stop arguing if you were doing a lot of arguing in the past? What are the things that need to change in order to have an ideal relationship with this person? Get those things crystal clear in your mind. Focus on them. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been in the market for a new car? Maybe you're shopping for a new Honda or whatever, and you begin to start to research it online or whatever, and then you begin to notice that everywhere you go, you're seeing that car. You're seeing it in different colors, different models, different styles, and you never really noticed that car before, and it's because that's what you're focusing on. Your mind has began to focus on that, and therefore you get kind of tunnel vision and you begin to see it everywhere. And that's the law of attraction, really. And you can use that, again, in any number of ways, but you can also use that to get an ex back. So focus on what that relationship will look like when they come back to you, and again, focus on it being an ideal scenario, not the way it was before, which caused you to break up. The next key step is you've got to eliminate any doubt in your mind. We get what we focus on, as I just said a second ago, and if you're focusing more on the, well, I'm not sure this is going to work, then that's going to amplify out there to the universe. Those doubts are going to destroy any possibility of you getting them back. So you've got to eliminate the doubts. You've got to focus your mind on not if they come back, or I hope they come back, but when they come back. Get that crystal clear in your mind. Say affirmations every day if you need to. I know sometimes that sounds cheesy and feels cheesy, but the more you do it, the more natural it will become, just like any other thing. Think about when you first learned how to ride a bicycle. It didn't feel comfortable at first. It felt awkward and unnatural, and you felt uncoordinated, and once you took your training wheels off, you were worried about falling over, but eventually you got comfortable at it. Eventually it felt normal and natural. That's kind of what they mean when they say fake it till you make it. In other words, it's gonna feel unnatural and uncomfortable at first anytime you do anything new, whether that's manifestations, whether that's affirmations, whether that's meditation, and all of those things will help to refocus and reframe your mind so that you can get in the game and get your X back. So just keep doing it even if it doesn't feel totally natural to you, and then eventually it will become part of who you are and feel completely natural. One affirmation I love that can apply to any situation is, I get what I want, or I get what I deserve. And if you say that to yourself every day, just think about what you're telling your mind. Our words program our brains, right? So the words that you say to yourself every day, and that's why one of the reasons why I really hate negative talk and trash talk about yourself. That's what you're reinforcing to your brain. That's the signals that you're giving your brain, and that's what it's going to latch onto and give you more of. So really reframe how you speak to yourself. Think about what your words are and really understand that your words are important, and what you tell yourself you're going to get more of. So really be crystal clear about what exactly it is that you want. If you're unclear, then how is the universe going to provide for you? You've got to be crystal clear. Now, I do, though, however, want you to avoid what they call having expectations of outcome. In other words, you can't really control anything other than your own self, your actions, your words, and your thoughts. So I want you to get crystal clear on what you want, but then I want you to let go of the expectation of exactly what that might look like. Let the universe bring that to you in the way that they want to do it, in the time frame that they want to do it. The more expectations you place, the greater the recipe for failure. But you've got to be crystal clear on exactly what it is that you want. Visualize that in your mind. Journal it down if you need to. Draw a picture of that if you want to. Whatever helps you and your mind get crystal clear on what you want and what exactly that looks like. The more specifics, the better. But the more of that you do, the greater the chance that this is going to work for you. I briefly mentioned meditation a second ago, but I didn't really go into great detail on that. When I first got dumped by my now ex-wife in April of 2021, I began to meditate every single day. And I did it for maybe 30 minutes a day. And I did that for a long time after the initial split. And I don't meditate every single day now, and I don't always meditate for that long, but I do meditate several times a week. And I do it more when I feel stress, anxiety, those kinds of things, because it really helps to calm and center and refocus the mind and bring things back to what's really important and let all that external noise float away. And that will absolutely help you in using the law of attraction and the power of manifestation to get what you want in this world, including how to get your ex back. Now, a lot of people say to me, Jeff, I just don't know how to meditate. I don't know how to sit there in silence and not think of anything. That's not really an accurate picture of what meditation really is. Thoughts will naturally always come into your brain and swirl around in there. As my old therapist used to say, have your thoughts, just don't invite them in for tea. So what that means is you are going to have thoughts that come into your head while you're meditating. That's okay. What you don't want to do is allow them to linger. You don't want to focus on them, especially if they're thoughts about possible future scenarios, which a lot of us have. You don't want to focus on those things, especially negative things, because who knows about the future? We can't predict the future, and dwelling on the past doesn't help us either. The only thing that helps us is to focus on the here and the now, right now in the present. And meditation is absolutely the best way, in my experience, to do that. There are other things that you could do, like yoga, maybe martial arts. Anything that kind of helps calm and center and refocus the brain is great. And I encourage you to find something that you love doing, because you'll be more apt to stick to it. But getting back to meditation, what I do is I use the free app called Insight Timer, and I just call it up on my phone. I can search for guided meditations. In other words, it's narrated. I can search for a guided meditation with background music, which I prefer, and I can select a male voice or a female voice. I can select by any length of time that I want, from 1 minute up to over an hour. Then I set it to kind of filter and sort by the most popular, and then I start with that first one and I see what I think about it. And you can also add in filters like, well, I want to search for meditations about anxiety or stress. You can search for a wide variety of things on Insight Timer. So I do that. Then I just start with the most popular one. I listen to it. I see if I like it. The ones that I really like, I bookmark so I can come back to them more easily next time. The ones that I'm not crazy about, I just, I stop it and I move on to something else. They do have a paid version, but I use the totally free version and it works fantastically well. So I highly encourage you, especially if you've never meditated before or you don't feel like meditation is for you, you're worried about, your ability to actually calm the brain and eliminate your thoughts and all those kinds of things. I really encourage you to try an app like Insight Timer and see if it works for you. It totally works for me. I also mentioned a second ago about writing down in a book. So they do call that journaling, and journaling really helps kind of get your thoughts out of your brain and into something tangible. It could be a notebook. You could do it on your laptop as well, but I really think that maybe handwriting it, where it really kind of enhances that hand-mind-brain connection kind of thing, I really think that might work better. Again, be crystal clear in what you write about what it is that you want. Visualize it, be descriptive, be really specific as possible, and keep a journal of those things and really keep it positive and keep it focused on exactly what you want. And I want you to avoid negative thoughts. Along this journey, you may get rejected. Your ex may say things to you that hurt. Your ex may be seeing somebody new and that hurts. And I want you to avoid dwelling on negative things. Now, I am not one of those people that say you should never have any negative thoughts at all. Negative thoughts are a part of life. What I don't want you to do is to dwell on them and to focus on them, because if you do dwell on them and you do focus on them, that's going to grow. We get what we focus on. And if you're focused on negative things, you're going to get more negative things. If you're focused on positive things, you're going to get more positive things. So don't let setbacks set you back. Focus on positive things. Keep negative thoughts to a minimum. When they enter your brain, just recognize that, yeah, I feel that, I understand that. Let it process a little bit and then let it go. If you have a lot of negative thoughts and a lot of anger and hostility, you do need an outlet for that. And that could be sports, it could be martial arts, it could be yoga, meditation, like we've already talked about, but have some sort of outlet for getting those things out of your system. Therapy is also a really good one. Now, if you've tried to get your ex back and you've even used the law of attraction, the power of manifestation, and it's just not working, there are some telltale signs that they are never coming back to you. And if you're curious as to what those are, so that you can decide whether or not this is a waste of time, I want you to watch this video right up here, because I show you the exact signs that you can look for that this is never going to work and they are never going to come back, and you may as well cut your losses, move on, and find the next great love of your life. But for now, I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget, if you want to see more signs than what I went through in today's video, check out my article, which is linked down below.